You're listening to Entrepreneur's Enigma, a podcast about the ups and downs of the entrepreneurial journey. Every week, your host Seth Goldstein interviews entrepreneurs from all walks of life about their entrepreneurial journeys. From store owners to Fortune 500 CEOs, we all have stories to tell. So sit back and join us for the next 20 or so minutes while we explore the entrepreneurial world.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of the Entrepreneur's Enigma podcast. I'm Seth, as always, with Podcast Mastery and Goldstein Media. Today I have Melissa Davis here, who is a mutual friend of Christy Mitchell, who is also on the show. Melissa is a foundational clarity coach, and we'll get into what the heck that means, because coach with, adjectives before it, there's a lot of them out there, but they mean something, so we're going to get into that. Mm-hmm. And she's the founder of Humanity Inc., which is pretty cool. No one else had the Inc. Humanity, which is pretty cool. I like that. It's cool. Where she helps impact-driven entrepreneurs align with their values, unlock clarity, which goes back to Clarity Coach, and build meaningful collaborative businesses. She's also the founder and co-leader of the Collaborative Entrepreneurship Incubator. So by the time this goes out in August, it will be live to the world in all its glory.
Or mostly.
Mostly. Well, here's hoping. If not soon after, it'll happen when it happens.
It'll have soft launched, yeah.
Oh, there you go. So it will be live to the world. It might just be a tree in the woods that no one hears.
To some
yet. Something like that. A playful, trust-led incubator where entrepreneurs reimagine what's possible when they create intentional partnerships for greater individual and collective prosperity, resilience, and impact. So how you doing, Melissa?
I'm great. And a big shout out to Christy. Everybody knows Christy.
Oh, Christy's awesome. Everyone knows Christy.
She's like the ultimate
Everyone
connector.
knows Christy. She's a master connector, exactly. And she's like, you should talk to Melissa. I'm like, sure, I'll talk to Melissa. And Melissa's awesome. So I love it. I love it, love it. So how did this all get started? Have you always been an entrepreneur?
I think I've always been an entrepreneur at heart.
Okay. So there was a corporate grind there.
Yeah, well, it was, I think, like a lot of entrepreneurs, or most or all, right? It really kind of emerged out of frustration for me. Really sitting in, I've never worked in corporate, actually. I've always worked other than, I worked for an investment bank in New York. It was a South African company. That was the largest.
South African.
It was a subsidiary of Standard Bank, which is the largest bank in South Africa.
Okay.
So while my experience working for them was within a 200-person company, that's the largest.
So small part of corporate. You can still hang the corporate.
But it was a South African company, and their values are a little bit different when it comes to that type of relationship. Yeah. But to say I've never worked in corporate. So, and if I had, I think my frustration would have been so deep. I don't think I ever would have made it there. But I've always worked with smaller companies and then really kind of shifted into working with startups. And just addicted to that type of environment, right?
It's
startup environment.
It's addictive. Yeah, it's a lot of endorphins go through that. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're always building, right? You're always starting over. You're always starting from scratch. You're wearing a gazillion hats, right? Like the frustration level's high, but the satisfaction level's really high, right?
Yeah, even if you fail fast, you're failing fast. And it's not failure, it's fail.
Well, yeah, and it depends on the culture of the startup that you're in too, right?
Of course, yeah.
But it was still deeply frustrating for me because, you have a passion and a vision for what's happening, and you can kind of, in the experience that I had, really seeing that diverge from what that early startup feeling was to, what it started to become, and, almost really diverge from what it started as, and the core people who really believed in it, that just start to degrade. And so a lot of that was sparked by that early experience in those startups, and then bringing on, more investor financing, really seeing it all fall apart. Yeah. And so that was my big introduction to what makes a startup culture cohesive and get everyone really rowing in the same direction and excited to be
Which
there and
helps,
passionate
because
about
most
their work.
startups, one guy's going left, the other one's going right, and the other one's going north, and the other one's going south. Like it's but you kind of have to go through that, and then you get all online and get all in tandem and all row in the right direction.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
it totally depends on how the leadership team directs it all, right?
Exactly.
But that was my introduction personally to organizational values. And it wasn't because I'd studied it. It was because I was experiencing it. And I was experiencing
That's better.
a lack of
Because
it,
studying
right?
is always, and studying, when you study a topic, I found this out. Yeah, I was a journalist in college. And you study a topic, you get the fundamentals. But you don't really learn it
No.
until you live it. Ooh, that's a good quote. You don't really
That's
learn it
why
until you
I
live
always
it.
feel like, I was in HR at that point.
Oh, God bless you. Ooh.
An incredibly frustrating position. And I
Yeah,
always say
yeah,
I'm a
like you said.
recovering HR professional.
I love it.
That's my
But
introduction.
culture, though.
Yeah, it went from
Because of
finance
that,
into HR into marketing. All presented its limitations to me, and it was just
And then you're out on your own.
deeply unsatisfied by all of it. But back to the MBA, just like a PSA. This is Melissa's PSA for the MBA.
PSA for the MBA.
Don't do it right after undergrad.
No,
like you're
you need
wasting
some
your
real
money.
world experience.
You're
Save
wasting
the
your money, and then you're unhireable. People don't
you price
actually
yourself
want
out, yeah.
you, right? And you're paying for it yourself.
Yeah, because if they want you to have an MBA, they'll pay for it.
It's, in my opinion, the stupidest decision one can ever make.
Only thing stupider is getting a PhD.
Go, well, and it depends on what it's for, right? But in business, it's useless. It's a useless degree.
Yeah.
At that point in your career, it's a useless degree. You have to get your hands in the dirt.
You have to
before you go for your MBA. And employers know it. They know it's useless. They know that's wonderful that you spent $40,000 on your MBA. That's useless to us because you still don't know what you're doing. But now you're demanding to make $90,000 a year instead of the entry point of $70,000 a year that we can pay you and that you're actually worth, right? So anyway, Melissa's PSA on the MBA: don't do it. Let them pay for it later when you're actually going to be able to use it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so I really started studying values. And of course, the company I worked for had zero interest in it. They'd already gone down the path and they're like, what does Melissa know about values and getting everybody on board with this, right?
Little did they know.
Yeah. And so, I had the jungle gym of a career path, as every probably good entrepreneur does.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I, at some point, realized, that I can do all of this trying to push up what I'm understanding about values and continue to be frustrated about it, or I can actually turn it on myself and figure out what I want to do. And it really wasn't until I got laid off. I landed what I thought was going to be this awesome freaking job. I mean, it really that jump where you're like, this is amazing. Got laid off 3 months later because they lost the client I was supposed to build this cool thing for. And no, best thing that ever happened to me, right?
Yeah, it's still painful.
But sure it is. But all of those things get you where you gotta go.
For a reason.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was at that point I couldn't take a job. I had 3 offers, along that point. I couldn't stomach it.
Yeah.
I couldn't. There is that point in every entrepreneur's journey where you just go, I can't do
Amen.
For some reason, I can't do any of that anymore. And flipped it around. All of that studying and work and on values, I realized just needed to be kind of turned inward, right?
Yes.
What do I need to align to, right? What in entrepreneurship? And so that's where the study of that foundational clarity really began for me.
I like it. It's a good word, foundational clarity.
Yeah, but it's really all about, think about it like a pyramid in an entrepreneurial, right? In the entrepreneurial world. Right?
We like our pyramids, by the way.
We're like
inverted and otherwise. We love pyramids.
That's right. And at the bottom is all of the stuff you need to be clear on to move forward.
Yes.
It doesn't get any simpler than that, right? You need to be clear on why this is important to you, why you do what you do, right? What you do, your, offer? What are your what are you amazing at? Who is your niche? What's the problem you solve?
Yeah.
Right? Where do you meet them on the journey? What does your differentiation look like? Right? How do you reach all of those things? Right? That's foundational clarity. Right? And I have my process for getting there. Other people have their process for getting there, right? Mine is deeply values based because there's so much tangible evidence about our business rooted in our values. Values are really understudied. We really only scratch the surface. There's
Yeah.
so much tangible evidence about our business, what aligns to
Mm-hmm.
us, and our values. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah. And throughout my business, and kind of getting to where I am now, just that
Yeah.
history and about how foundational clarity played into that. I've been working with startups and entrepreneurs for almost 10 years. Um, and as it is with, I think, any business, you really just started recognizing patterns. And for me,
Mm-hmm.
that's how
Patterns are underrated.
a
They're
framework
underrated.
evolved for me on foundational clarity. What started to really emerge for me too was that, I'm working primarily with solo entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And
They're a special breed. Yeah.
well, and most of them, myself included, really struggled with it.
Yeah.
Um, in really seeing that if I'm to propose that we have these really foundational gifts and these amazing things that we're really good at, right? But we
Mm-hmm.
still have to fill in all the pieces, right, of running a business, a successful business that connects with the people that we want to help and does what we
Yeah.
want it to do and supports us and is fulfilling and is prosperous and makes the impact that we want to make, right? Whatever the
Yeah.
things that drive you as an entrepreneur really are not feasible if we want to be good at what we're good at.
I love that. I love that. So you started your business, you've helped, a lot of solo entrepreneurs, probably one or two people in the company, entrepreneurs. I
Mostly
mean, about
single.
mostly single. Wow.
Hmm.
We help them get clarity, which I think that's kind of gets to the point of what a clarity coach is. You're coaching them on gaining clarity, figuring out how to run things, how to kind of, I guess a good Yiddish word, get all their Mishigas in place. all the BS, get it in place, figure it out, get out of the weeds and get clarity. I mean,
Yeah.
that's seriously, if there's a word cloud for this episode, it'd be clarity big in the center there. And I
Yeah.
love that. We're going to take a quick break, hear from our sponsors, and get right back to the show. So what is this collaborative entrepreneurship incubator going to be?
Yeah, well, official name to come. That's our
Well,
working.
yeah,
It's
it's
at
not bad.
mouthful, right? Yeah, it's about really kind of tackling the problem that I was talking about before, right? Emergent, like doing all of these things, really getting aligned, right? Before you
Yeah.
can jump into strategy, before you can really jump into execution.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality is that trying to tackle it alone just isn't effective.
It
Solo
isn't.
entrepreneurs have the lowest success rate
If you make
of
it
any
5 years,
business
you're it's
structure.
good. If you make it through, I always say, if you can make it through the first year, that's 12 months. How many? 365 days. I'm not gonna go in an hour, so don't worry about that. But literally, if you can make it a year, you're more likely to make it into the second year. One foot in front of the other. That's all you can do. A lot of people, when I talk to other entrepreneurs, they're always like, and they're brand new, and they're like, "Oh my god, I'm so excited! I'm scared." I'm like, "Yeah, if you're not scared, something's wrong."
Yeah. Well, but the reality is that there's so much opportunity and potential that's
Mm-hmm.
stuck behind trying to do it all ourselves. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We can do, you know, all of it poorly, right? And get ahead and not really focus, really kind of pull away from those
Mm-hmm.
core gifts we have, right?
Yes.
Or we can connect with other people,
And
right?
collaborate. Yeah.
And allow them to do what they're amazing at and for us to focus on what we're amazing at instead of this
Mm-hmm.
self-limiting idea of, I've got to do it all myself, right? If I can't
It's so
figure out
hard.
how to fill in this whole puzzle myself,
Find someone.
then I'm not
Yeah,
cut out for
exactly.
it. And it doesn't have to be, right, this idea of, okay, I just have to get so far and make enough money and then I can hire somebody. So really
No,
getting past
yeah.
that mindset of who wants to help me for free. It's not about that. It's
No, but
not
you can also
about,
share the project costs. You can team up. You can do freelance. Get people to work with you on what they're good at, and
yeah.
it all
And
works
on
out.
top
Yeah.
of that, solo entrepreneurship is just the stability that's there, right? Um, is one of the biggest problems of solo entrepreneurship.
Oh God, yeah.
You
I could
know,
totally vouch for
there's
that.
so
Yeah.
much more resilience in partnering with other entrepreneurs to go after what you want to accomplish as your role as an entrepreneur. I really think that we need to reimagine how we think about our role as an entrepreneur, right? We got
And
into
also
this.
help each other out. It's also group therapy too. Like, did you
It
go through
is,
this?
but
Did
it's
I go through
so
this?
beyond just having a network of entrepreneurs around
Yeah.
you,
No.
right?
But
There's
like
tons of
collaborating.
places
Yeah.
for that. It's really co-creating together.
I love that. That's co-creating together. I love that.
And
And
providing a place for us to do that. So that's really what, that Collaborative Entrepreneurship Incubator is all about, is creating a container for it. It's also really learning about collaborative entrepreneurship, because I really think that we're just pretty shitty at it in general. Like, we have this big desire to work together, right? And to
yeah.
collaborate and not do it alone and to focus on what we're amazing at, right? We have a
Yeah.
deep
Stay in our lanes.
desire
Yeah.
to do
Exactly.
that, to have fun with our work, right? Like, to enjoy the freedom and the flexibility and all the things we got in it for, right? But I think that we're just really shitty at actually collaborating with other people.
Oh, it's so tough. It's tough. So in your mind, so you've done the semi-corporate, small division of a bigger thing,
Yeah.
then trail, for lack of a better word,
Right.
journey, and then you become an entrepreneur. What is the best thing in your mind for being an entrepreneur versus working for as a cog in the system?
Oh, well, so many things, right?
So many
But
things. Where do I start?
but for me, it's getting to build what I want to build.
Yes, when you want to build it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't operate in that rigid structure of,
Yeah, some of the best
corporate.
entrepreneurs, that's what they are. They can't go regimented like that. They think outside the box, and it's brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it is being able to execute on what I want to execute on,
I love it.
build.
Perfect, concise answer. I love that. when I ask that question, people go on for like 10 minutes, and literally it can always be summed up like what you did. Perfect. I love that. What keeps you then on the flip side of all that? What keeps you up at night being an entrepreneur? I mean, it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah, and so this is related to collaboration too,
Yeah.
right? Like, I remember in high school, when I was on the soccer team, what would keep me up at night, if there was anything keeping me up, it was letting my team down, right?
Yeah.
So when I switched over to, singles tennis, which I was really good at. I mean, yeah, sure, we played for the team, we played for our school, but that was an individual sport.
Yeah.
And I think one of the advantages and big limiting disadvantages of solo entrepreneurship, just like the solo sport is, I mean, I'm not letting anybody down, except I'm letting my family down, right? If I can't
Yeah.
make this work. But I always have I could always go get a job, even though it would crush my soul, right?
Yeah.
Um, but having that, like, almost that safety net of I'm not letting my team down,
Yeah.
right, is also not the pressure to make it amazing. Because it's what still scares me. I have a partner, I have, a growing team of supportive partners that are helping and are
Yeah.
building this thing now,
That's so
right?
exciting.
And
Yeah.
so that pressure of, we're now connected deeply into this, right?
Yeah.
It has to work, right? Because
Yeah.
now we're all committed to this. It's much more
It's
likely
exciting.
to succeed But also as the leader of, that mission and that project, I feel, right, a big obligation and responsibility to make this really successful, not just for them, but the people who I'm promising that this will help support them in growing their business, right? It's a very different experience than the solo sport of make it or break it in entrepreneurship. And great, you went after your dreams and people look at you like, that's great. Good luck. Right. And then they expect you to fail.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah.
So if you were to, the short answer is what keeps me up at night. Sorry, I did go with that long answer, 10-minute rant on that one. But I think it is, there's a shared responsibility, and it's a different experience than just letting myself down.
Yeah. And so what's the most important thing to carry with you all the time? This can go as woo as you want to get. Oh, I love it. No one said notebook.
Really?
I know. It's seriously.
I mean, it can be your phone. You know what I mean? Just a way to capture your thoughts in the moment. Because connecting the dots never happens when you're sitting down in front of the computer.
Or in the shower.
It's in the shower. It's right. So just something to be able to capture the connection or the, idea in the moment.
Get the idea down, write it down, go back and revisit it later. Because if you think, I'm going to remember that, you're not.
No.
You're not going to remember it.
No, you don't.
Something's going to happen.
Because it was brilliant, but it's gone.
It's gone now, and it might not come back.
Sorry.
So, Melissa, people can find out more about you over at humanityyinc.world, which I love the .world domain name. I still have to figure out a use case for that, but I love the .world because it's worldwide the stuff. And then they can go to the one. They can go learn about the incubator at /incubator.
Yes.
I like how you kept it simple. Let's go /incubator. And I judge by the links you gave me that your big order hole online is LinkedIn or is it Instagram?
Well, it's LinkedIn. We're moving into Instagram more. But you'll find the most on LinkedIn about mostly the incubator and how that's and how that's progressing and our soft launch. And we're really excited to really explore models of collaborative entrepreneurship, and we're building a partner matching algorithm. Not rushing into that because there's a lot we want to learn.
Don't rush.
But yeah,
one of the biggest pitfalls when starting something new is rushing into things. Sometimes you got to take a beat, step back, say, all right, let's get this right. Yeah, nothing's worse than something failing miserably, and you're like, well,
it just
because we rushed into it. Yeah,
you rushed into it, and there's a lot for us to learn. The purpose of this incubator is to learn how to be effective collaborators, to really co-create with each other, and that's a collective learning experience. The labs are a fantastic way to just dip your toe in ahead of the incubator as well. And they're free and they're open to the public, and
that's at /lab.
That's at /lab.
There's a trend here. /lab.
And that's like business improv. So if you're, excited about improv or scared about improv, come on over.
Come hang out. Melissa, this has been so much fun. I'm so glad we got to hang out. Thank you, Christy.
Thank you, Christy.
And we'll see everyone next week.
That was a great show. If you're enjoying Entrepreneur's Enigma, please consider giving us a review in the podcast directory of your choice. Every review helps us reach new listeners. If you like Entrepreneur's Enigma, consider the other shows on the Marketing Podcast Network at marketingpodcast.net.